Welcome to another episode of BlackUSA Crypto News. So much to talk about, guys. I'm going to cut to the chase. But before I cut to the chase, right, I have to thank all of our sponsors here at BlackUSA News. Chief among them, STEM City USA. Welcome to the metaverse. Thanks so much for supporting the platform and all the content creators here. Guys, check out those other shows that are here on BlackUSA News. You won't regret it. There's plenty of archives. If you're just into crypto, then check out some of my shows in the archives. What can I say? I like the stuff I put out there. I hope you do too. I don't know what else to say. Hopefully you like it. If you do like it, give it a like. I get a few likes every now and then. But regardless, I'm just here to not give you financial advice, not give you legal advice, not give you tax advice, not certainly the worst advice to give from me is probably tax advice, especially this time of year. So, but I am here to give you guys information and, a little bit of free crypto too. So the last 2 weeks, I've had two winners at random who have partnered with me on Elephant.MONEY. And Elephant.MONEY has just gone on a run this week. But yesterday it took a dip. So, might be a good time to get in if you're not already in. Regardless, if you guys want to partner with me, feel free to reach out. I put that link in last week's show, and you should be able to find it in the description too. I'll be sure that gets in there. But I mean, hey, if you guys don't like free crypto, that's fine. My current partners, I think they like free crypto, and we'll just keep going through the folks who are my partners. And but it is important to know, outside of Elephant.MONEY, there are other opportunities out there. And I really do feel as though we are in the last days before mass adoption. And, what does that really mean? In my book, DeFi for the Diaspora, I talk about proof of work and proof of work networks. So you can, if you want to understand how POW works, proof of work, pick up my book. You can pick it up at my website, which that link should also be in the description. So check that out. But, there is a little known idea of proof of work. I'll call it an idea. It's really just a way of thinking, right, in crypto. So this is completely different from proof of work networks like Bitcoin and other mining networks. But just the concept of proof of work is just, in my opinion, how you exert yourself in this crypto sphere. And the people who do the most research do, and to a certain extent, I'm not going to say take the biggest risks or take the most risks, but take a certain type of risk, even if it's calculated and measured. Those are the people who get the furthest in crypto. And, risk is scary. But if you know the risk and mitigate your risk without just assuming it, without mitigating, that's when you can be rewarded. So, that's kind of what I want to leave you guys with. And let me just kind of break some of that down a little bit more. I'm not going to talk about news. I'm not going to have a guest on today, but I really do want to unpack this because there's a lot of people who, once again, they don't want to exert themselves. And as much as I give people information and I help people out. And really, that's the best way for me to help people out, to communicate the message of DeFi for the diaspora, communicate the message of blockchain and, crypto to a limited extent as well. But once again, there's not a lot to it, and so once again, for me to kind of break this down, if an average person, because I get it, this stuff is not easy, it's very technical, and if you agree to allow yourself to learn it, it's small bite-sized pieces a day. Now, I understand I'm I don't want to label myself, but I typically research or, give some degree of research around an hour a day to this. It's not as much as I would like. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just say, hey, I can't do it, right? And yes, I cannot do as much deep dives as I would want to. But if you give yourself even 20 minutes a day, half hour a day, 45 minutes a day, just to understand this stuff better, you guys are really putting yourself in a great position. So, and there's a lot of people who, say, hey, I want the next big crypto pick and I want passive income and I want it now and I don't want to do anything else, right? That's not going to get you there, unfortunately. And I hate to break the bad news, but, things happen so quickly in this industry. The one thing that I know is that I do not know everything, and that's just across the board. I know a lot about this stuff because I have put in the work to understand it better. I try not to beat myself up when I make mistakes. I try to share my mistakes with other people too. And, a lot of that comes from people seeking me out and me sharing what I share and can share. Sometimes I communicate it well, sometimes not so much, but I'm not the only person out here. So there's plenty of sources and plenty of ways for you to get this information. And when you find someone you like, I want to say avoid dogma too, because there's a lot of that in crypto as well. But once again, getting down to the exertion part of this, you have to come to the conclusion that to a certain degree, if this technology allows you to be your own bank, you have to take responsibility just like a bank would. So, banks take on significant security measures so they don't get robbed or so that they don't lose the money in the bank, so on and so forth. You have to be okay with that. And I know, once again, sometimes that can be scary, but if you guys truly understand the risks that are involved here, and there's always going to be unknowns. I understand that, but as many of the unknowns that are out there, or know as much as you can know, I guess. Once again, being reasonable with yourself, that is going to help you out tremendously. So, yeah. So I'm just saying, guys, there's so much opportunities out there, and once again, I can't even leverage all of the opportunities because to a certain extent, I want to help people out. And so I take away from doing my own research at times to do stuff like this, a show on YouTube that is free and is accessible 24/7, right? Also the CageChain Newsletter. That's a free newsletter that has had over 200 weekly editions, and some people read it. They read it the right way. They say, hey, your newsletter has helped me make money. So, I'm putting out free resources and, I just say that to say, I can't do everything for everybody either. And I'm not saying that to talk down to anybody, because really it does hurt me when, I can't help people out. I'm sorry, I don't have all the time in the world to do that. And I know, unfortunately, that sounds harsh, guys, but, this is what crypto is about in a lot of ways. It's about the financial self-sovereignty, right? You are your own bank, your own sovereign wealth fund, right? I'm not a sovereign wealth fund. I don't have that much crypto, but, you almost have to think of yourself like that, and what I want is obviously our community to have our own, individual sovereign wealth funds, and we all come together and create our own venture capital funds, and at a greater extent become our own hedge funds and private equity funds and crypto. So that's my objective in all that. And, that is, a message at a larger scale. I'm happy to work with individuals, and, I'm not hard to find a lot of times either. So I don't know. I feel like I'm rambling now, so I'm probably going to shut this down. But remember, proof of work in crypto doesn't just apply to mining, crypto mining. It should be your actual personal philosophy, right? And this even goes to physics, right? Like, how much are you willing to exert yourself? The further you exert yourself, the further you will go. Yes, there is plenty of ways to get passive income in crypto, but if you take on more risk and exert yourself further, the opportunities will present themselves and you will win. Now, I will also say, let's get into some of these risks, right? And the risks that you should worry about. I think I've always talked about, or not always, but I've talked about custodial risk. Custodial risk is, you taking on your own coins, right? And that risk, if you have coins in a centralized exchange, right? There's a risk that exchange can get hacked. But if you have your own coins, there's a risk that you can get hacked, which brings in the cybersecurity risk. And we've had shows that talk about cybersecurity best practices. Check out the archives for those. You can mitigate your cybersecurity risk by doing a few really simple things and really living by those best practices. There's market risk. We never know when the markets are going to go up and down, but there's ways to hedge against market risk. I've talked about that in terms of stable coins. So, and then there's a whole nother set of risks in DeFi or associated with DeFi on top of all those other inherent crypto risks, which you can read in which you can read about in DeFi for the Diaspora, excuse me. So, hey guys, I'm going to leave it here. But I hope you guys take this message in good stead. I'm definitely not here to lecture anyone. I want to help people, and there are a lot of you who have sought me out. And actually, I'm not sitting here bored or anything. I'm definitely very occupied and very engaged, helping people who I think are the right people. I hope are the right people, and but there's also ways to prioritize yourself and put yourself in the front of that line. If you want to know that, how to do that, reach out, get in touch with me. I'm not hard to find. And I will be happy to help you in that. Hopefully it helps you, helps your family get that family sovereign wealth fund you guys are looking for. So, with this, hopefully this propels you in your own proof of work journey. It propels you forward. You take some time this weekend to learn some new crypto stuff, learn new projects, mitigate some risks associated with those projects. This is not financial advice, but never put in more than you're willing to lose, and never put all your eggs in one basket either. So, once again, hope you guys take this message well, and I'll see you next time here on Black USA Crypto News. Take care, stay safe,